Hi guys. So I finished recently reading a book, so I was going to do a little book review, and then also I got a few books in the mail, so I was going to show off those. So I mentioned this in the last video, that I've been reading a book called The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. And I finally finished it a couple days ago. So this book is sort of an alternate historical fiction book set in Paris. And it follows our main character Nina as she's thrown into the world of the Miracle Court, which is an underground court that has nine guilds. I thought it was a standalone, but apparently there's a sequel slated for, I think, April 2025. So I'm very excited because I did end up really enjoying this. I gave it 4 stars. But basically, something I didn't know about this story is that it's, so like I said, it's like an alternate historical fiction, but it's also like a loose retelling of Les Mis, which I had no idea going in that it was a loose retelling of Les Mis. And it also has influences from the Jungle Book. So like, it's broken into a couple parts, and I think each part starts off with like a quote from the Jungle Book. And once you read it, you can kind of see why. Like, there's one of the guild leaders is named the Tiger. And Nina, our main character, does have some similarities, I would say, with Mowgli. But then there's also the loose retelling element of Les Mis, which is one of my favorite musicals. I got to see the musical. It was so good. I was obsessed with the soundtrack for a solid year. Yeah, so the characters from Les Mis are actually in here, sort of. Like there's a Cosette character. Our main character, Nina, I think is supposedly Eponine from the musical. Jean Valjean is in there. Javert is there. Javert is actually a woman in this one. So like there's just some fun twists on like Les Mis and the Les Mis characters and the story. But anyways, I really ended up liking this book a lot. It was just really gripping right from the start. It's first person POV, which I tend to love. And I thought it was done really well. It was never boring. I loved the characters. There wasn't like a super strong romantic element, but there was like tension between like 3 different characters. And I was honestly torn between 2 of them. So like it wasn't like I would not say like a love triangle or anything, because it just wasn't that like important to the story. But there's definitely like some different threads of tension going on between different characters, which was really fun and entertaining. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking this book out if you like historical fiction / fantasy, if you like guilds and stuff like that, if you like Les Mis. I'm not sure if this, I think I've said this, I don't know if this actually counts as fantasy, but I feel like if you like fantasy, you would like this, if that makes sense. Yeah, really entertaining. I gave it 4 stars, so I will definitely be picking up the sequel next year. I feel like I was just lucky in picking this up now, because I actually got this book like ages ago. And since I only read it now, I guess I don't have to wait that long, like less than a year for the sequel. Whereas if I had read it when it first came out, it'd be a long wait time. So this was like, I feel like the perfect time to pick this up. And I really enjoyed it. So yeah, The Court of Miracles. I do recommend. So that was the book I read and finished. This is my Kindle. This is my Kindle, just by the way. But yeah, so that's the book I finished. And then the 2 books I got in the mail, I will show you now. So I got this book. I actually got this book like a week or 2 ago, but for some reason I thought I'd already shown it, but I had not. So this is the adult Owl Crate book for April, and it's called The Sins on Their Bones by Laura R. Simonton. So this is, I believe this is like an alternate Dust Jacket since it's an Owl Crate book. But I'll show you real quick. I don't know anything really what it's about, except for that the blurb sounded interesting enough that I did not skip it. So, but here it says it is set in a Jewish folklore-inspired reimagining of 19th century Eastern Europe. This queer dark fantasy debut pits 2 estranged husbands and a daring spy master on opposite sides of a civil war. Perfect for fans of Leigh Bardugo, C.S. Pacat, and Catherine Arden, of which I am fans of all 3, so no wonder I didn't skip it. So yeah, this is the cover. Sounds really, really good. Let me take off the cover real quick so I can show you. So this is what the hardcover looks like underneath the Dust Jacket. It's really pretty. On the back, there's that embossment. It says, "Just as your sins are written on your bones, so shall you bear the name of God." I just have a feeling that I'm really gonna like this book. It has black sprayed pages, and then if you look on the inside, there's character art. So it's like, I don't want to crack the spine, but that's what it looks like on the inside. And then at the back, it looks like this. Let me see. I believe it's signed, but I could be wrong. Yeah, there's like an author letter. And then a signature page on the other side. And I also saw something interesting, like at the beginning, there's like this art of the Joker and the King. So I find that very interesting. I remember when I first heard the synopsis for this book, I was really interested in it, but I feel like looking at it again now makes me want to pick it up like right now. I feel like I'm really gonna like this one. So, and then also on the opposite side of the Dust Jacket, the reverse side, is another Dust Jacket, a reverse Dust Jacket. I do like that one, but I think I'm going to keep this as the Dust Jacket for now. I'm very picky with like character art on like as a Dust Jacket. I don't know why. I tend to enjoy like settings more, which is why I'm gonna probably keep this. So let me put that back on real quick. So yeah, that was sorry, trying some stuff out. That was The Sin on Their Bones. That was the Owlcrate adult book for April. And then a book I just recently got in the mail is I think it's the April adult book for Fairy Loot, and it is Evocation by S.T. Gibson. So I believe the normal cover of this book is like a black and like teal color, I think, like a dark teal. And so this one is obviously gold, red, and black. It's really pretty. So what I know about this book, I think it's like a polyamorous story, I think. Here are the edges, very pretty. And here's the back, which says, "Only blood can rewrite blood." So yeah, definitely fantasy. I believe this okay, I'll tell you what I know about the story first. One, it says 1 on there, so I'm guessing it's going to be a series. 2, I think what I know is that like we follow our main character who was in a previous relationship with another guy, but something happened between the two and like they fell out, and then the other guy remarried another woman who I don't know any of their names, but they remarried. But then like somehow he goes back into his ex-boyfriend's life, and like all 3 of them end up on like a mystery together or something like that. That's all I know, and some of that could be wrong, but like that's what I've gathered from like hearing about it and like reading the blurb and stuff like that. And there's magic involved, obviously. Okay, so I'll give you a little more. Like the inside says, from the international best-selling author of A Dowry of Blood, which I know a lot of people loved. A Dowry of Blood, I believe that's the story about like Dracula's wives, and they like get revenge on him. And I think it's like a sapphic story. I know it was very popular. I've heard it around a lot. So yeah, so same author. It says, when a family curse threatens the life of David, a medium, he will turn to the only person he's ever trusted, his sorcerer ex-boyfriend, Reese, which means he'll have to open his heart to Moira, Reese's astrologer wife. Meet David, Reese, and Moira for the first time as they navigate magic-riddled Boston through hierarchical, I cannot say that word, I'm so sorry, secret societies, familial bonds from beyond the grave, and much more in this gorgeous, richly imagined novel. So, if I take off the dust jacket, similar process. This is the hardcover. It has like an eye on it. I'm trying to adjust the lighting here a little bit. Okay. It has like an eye on it. Oh, the tops and the bottom are actually really pretty. I didn't even notice that. Excuse me. And the back has 2 hands and a card, I believe. So you've got the front page art. So I'm guessing this is Reese and Moira, if I had to bet. And then the back has more art. This is a card, actually. A letter from the author. And if I had to guess, this would be our main character. So, yeah. And then on the back is, again, more another reverse dust jacket, I think. It might just be art, actually. No, that looks like a dust jacket to me. But again, I think I'll stick with the I think I'll stick with the original dust jacket. Sorry. Put this back on. Slip this back in there. So yeah, this is the other book I've received recently. So both of those were adult fantasy books that I got in the mail recently. So, and those were actually the only two books I've gotten in the mail of recent, of late. I am trying to read more from my Kindle. I'm not really an ebook reader, except for I do check out books from Libby, like from your library. You can check them out digitally on like the Libby app. It's very handy. So I will do that occasionally. I think what I find weird about the Kindle is I've never really had an e-reader before. I would always read books from like on my iPad. And I got used to like color, so like on the Kindle, it's all black and white. So like you don't see color, like the color of the cover of the book, which is fine. Like it doesn't bother me once I'm reading, but I don't know. Something about it, I just was not expecting that. I think there are e-readers that are in color. I've seen people with like, I think they're called Kobos, like Kobo. But this is like connected to my Amazon account and everything, so like, and I've already got it. I got it as like a present, and I asked for it, so like, I do not need another e-reader, and it's not a big deal. So I just need to get over it and try to use it more for like books that I'm not sure I want to get, because it definitely helps save money. But yeah, so that was it for today. Probably not a long one, but glad to have finally picked up this book. Now, I did say I have 3 copies of this book, and I gave it a 4-star. So do I want to keep all 3? I don't know. I might be able to get rid of one, but I'm at least keeping 2 because I really did enjoy it. And the cover for the sequel is so pretty. Like I looked it up on Goodreads, and it's like a rich red and like a cream color, like a beige cream. Like the combination is just really stunning. So excited to pick this sequel up next year. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was somewhat relaxing. Again, if you ever want me to try like a different, like a whisper video, can you even hear that? I don't even know. I don't really have a mic, so but if you ever want me to try out like a whisper video, I can try that as well. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good night, evening, day, whenever you're watching this. And bye. Thanks.